Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, before we begin, we like to give all praise, all glory, all honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. As always, we like to say Shalom unto the elect.
Shalom to the elect.
Right, there's a couple of your brothers here,
Hanana.
and Isaiah. And we wanted to get into today is Job, the 8th chapter, 15th verse. Right? Job 8 and verse 15, it says, He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure. Right? This here referencing Esau, Edom, or can reference Esau, Edom. And we wanted to get into tonight is even at the height of your empire, which you're going to reach the greatest height of your empire when your MOTB, pretty soon your greatest height of your empire is going to be established within the earth, right? And you're going to think yourself to be in good estate, right? Going to jump around a bit, Job 20, 23, Job 14, 5, right? Revelation 12 and 12, right? But what we wanted to get here to is that even your greatest height is, you missed the mark slightly. Just slightly, right? Your greatest feat you could reach or you're going to reach is still not enough for you to endure. Because it says he shall lean upon his house, with his house, his empire, which he aims to establish, right, through, you could say, this fourth industrial revolution, which is a technocracy, right? They aim to establish a house forever, right? You can get that.
It's a house.
Right? They aim to establish your house forever, which is the empire, which is this technocracy, right? To rule and govern the earth forever. But what? But it shall not stand. That plan is not going to stand. It is not going to endure. He shall hold it fast. So you're going to hold on to it, right, till the very end. But it shall not endure, right? Because that was the Lord's plan. The Lord's plan was to fill up your iniquities, right? Scripture talk about, we get that first. 2nd Ezra 4 and verse from 37. 2nd Ezra 4 and 37. You can get it in your NEB. I'll get it.
You
can read the precept by the time.
About house, right? Psalms 127 and verse 1. Except the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem shall build a house, a labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem shall keep the city, a watchman waiteth, but in vain. Right. If the Lord not behind you or backing you to do anything, you're bound to fall.
You're bound to fall.
The Lord was backing you for a while. A good period of time, if you ask me, because you're on borrowed time right now. The Lord was backing you for a while now. But now that He pulled Himself away from you, you can't do nothing again. Your kingdom been dwindling for quite some time now. Since what?
Since the 80s actually, the Allah require Kwame do a video on it. The boomer generation was the last generation of Esau Edom. That was the only time the entire house of Esau was flourishing. After that, right, which was, I believe, the boomer generation, I think he said was from the late 60s to the 80s.
Okay, that was what I'm going to say. If you're being real, the kingdom really end, or the beginning at the end of the kingdom was in 1969, 1970, when Allah would step on the scene. So when He stepped on the scene, the kingdom was basically done.
The days was numbered.
If anything, the kingdom was done, we're just waiting for the fulfillment of that. Because whenever the Lord rise up prophets,
it's ushering the end of a kingdom.
Exactly.
Jeremiah 28. Yeah, the prophets which have been before me and before they have old. Who prophesied against many kingdoms and many rulers and many.
Have it here?
Right.
Jeremiah 28 and 8. The prophets that have been before me and before they of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Right, so he prophesied the end of your empire. Right.
Because that whenever a kingdom going through them kind of, how you go say, turmoil, so what
these are signs at the end.
Exactly.
We've seen every other kingdom that has fell before fell with these same signs being in play. So we don't expect anything else from you, right?
I was watching a video the other day, the four great empires that rule the earth. the Spanish, the British, America now enter the empire, the French Empire. I watching a video and the introduction of the video, the man say that 7 signs or 7 steps that these 3 great empires before America followed, and they fell to their demise. And you see America at the 5th stage, steadily or speedily heading into the 6th.
The scripture talk about it. Before three of whom fell, and thou goest into perdition. You're gonna go into perdition just like them. Right? You was just the height of this Renaissance. God, that Renaissance, that's when you all came back into power. Right? So we have here 2 Ezra 4 and 37. I'm going to read in KJV and then the NEB. The 2 Ezra 4 and 37, it says, by measure had he measured the times, and by number had he numbered the times. And he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. Right? Go here now to 2 Ezra 4 and 37 in the NEB. It says, for the Lord has weighed the world in a balance. And when you go into the word world here, it can mean ages, eons. So we in the age of Esau, the moon, 2 Ezra 6 and 9.
I get fair, yeah.
You can read it. 2 Ezra 6 and 9, right? Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. That word world, they go into age, eon. Right, so a certain period in time in which there is a rule that is weighed in the balance. The Holy Job 14 and 5, 110. It says, for the Lord has weighed the world in a balance, he has measured and numbered the ages. He will not move nothing or turn nothing until the approved number is achieved. So Israel was not to be taken down when they were taken down past that point. You will not get a day, not even a second more in rulership. You won't get Esau, you will not get a second more in rulership when Yahushua comes. That is it there for you.
Hey, your name it there.
Let's get Job 14 and go ahead.
Look at Job chapter 14 and verse 5.
Right, so I got it. I get ahead of myself.
Actually, I read 2 and then I'll jump down. Job 14 and 2. He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not.
Right.
Jumping on to verse 5. Seeing his days are determined.
Meaning his days are numbered. Revelation 12 and 12.
Yeah, I went to that after.
Yeah, go ahead.
Seeing that his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee.
Right, so that way too, the Most High, his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Go ahead.
That was appointed his bounds that he can pass.
Right, so you have bounds appointed that he will not be able to pass it, or did not set it for him to pass that. Daniel, the 5th chapter. Many tekel who fasten. Many thou art weighed in the balance and had found wanting. Tekel, like kingdom is no.
I'll get real quick, I'll be title. It's Daniel 5 and from
25, I believe.
I think
or 24.
No, not 19. 24, yeah. It's Daniel 5 and 24. Then was a part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written.
And beautiful that is a hand. Right.
Like the way get the term from the writing is on the wall.
Yeah, you can research it. I actually did a video on that a couple of months back. The writing is on the wall. That came from this too. When the writing is on the wall, it is number. Right, and beautiful that is a hand because it's the Lord's right hand is going to write the writing on the wall for you all.
Ezekiel 9 tell you that the writer's in corn, and here's the writing. Verse 25, and this is the writing that was written, many tekel ufasim. This is the interpretation of the thing, many. Yahweh numbered thy kingdom and finished it.
Numbered thy kingdom and finished it. That message will be sent to you. So it has been sent to you already. That we know a sewing machine, right? You do your witchcraft with a sewing machine, and it reached where it was going into the future. And it was only reaching to a certain point, regardless of how much you try to change a certain outcome, regardless of how much you try to
fight against it.
You try various different.
Go down,
you go
left, right, up, down, northwest, northeast, north, southwest, southeast. south, west, east, anywhere you go, any cardinal point, longitude, they can't find a way to beat the Lord.
Any plan you had, it always ended up with the same outcome. And they didn't share the outcome, but we could guess the outcome. And the scripture talk about
if you conjecture it, alright. And here's the guess, Tekel, the one reading the balances, and had found one thing. Perez, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians, but it can't really be Perez, thy kingdom is finished, I will be given to Yahushai.
Yes. So the Medes and the Persians, you could say, they had the plan, they had the part in it because
if anything, if you're watching it now, the kingdom will be divided. Missiles coming that way and missiles coming this way.
Because
the land, but the 10th part of it will be what? Burnt in the fire.
Paraphrasing. The scripture talks about the
10th part of the city fell.
Yeah, you can get that in Jeremiah 51. 51 and 31 come only together. The head of you all the kings of the Medes.
Book of Isaiah, Jeremiah 51 and 51. 51 is it?
Let me see. Talk about the kings of the Medes.
No.
51:11. No. 51:28.
51:20. Book of Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 28.
Read from 27.
27. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together her the kingdoms.
Right. So call together her the kingdoms. Read 28 because we are going to extrapolate upon the point of the Medes because the Medes prophet back then was actually the nation that descended from Madai, right, in Genesis the 10th chapter. So those are the actual Medes, but the Medes here it references who? The Russians. So the Russians in prophecy is the ones who prophesy to bring about the end of your kingdom by the nuclear missile. Isaiah 13 and 17. You could read that and then go to the Isaiah 13 and 17.
Verse 28, Jeremiah 51:28. Prepare against the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion.
Right.
Isaiah. Keep reading.
No. Read 29 and then go.
Okay. Verse 29, and the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitants.
Right, so that is what's going to happen to you all at the height of your empire, because the height of your empire aim to reach is to achieve God status. Right, they see things like that in the show Pantheon. So you see that in the show Pantheon, right? Heavy recommendation to go and watch that show. But
it's an anime. It's our own man.
It's an anime, it's an anime, a series, and a quick series, I believe. Pantheon, Pantheon, right? But you see that is the ultimate plan to achieve God status within the 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter gives you that account. Right? He says it in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Now, he aims to do this by, becoming God within your mind using the MOTB, right? Yuval Harari said that. He said, when we establish digital renaissance, we fought industrial revolution, you will no longer need to serve any phantom God in the sky. Why? Because they believe you're going to serve technology in that time. Going to serve them through technology by bowing.
Then she the CBDCs now, you ain't gonna need paper. Forget if you need it, you go have it and you can't fucking use it.
You would have no need for them aim to become your God.
Basically.
Right. So that is the height of the plan.
They won't be able to turn on and off your brain so much to people. And know you take our shit for weeks, you can't be able to take our shit. That is madness by the way.
They could take off your heart. They could say you're going on.
Yeah, this problem going on with this heart string, you just take off that one day, and you have no more problem.
Oh, you said I was going to say, well, they don't like key face, so you take key off, and then you go put key on for today and take key off. That's what they want to do. That's literally the power they wish to reel within the earth, and that is the height of the plan. But what
and
it
so
was,
like not just in the earth too, because they want to go out into the universe.
Ultimately, they want full, how you say, dominion, right? They aim to become gods on earth. But the thing is, that was not the Most High's intended plan. The Most High's intended plan for anybody to be God on earth was Yahweh Shai. That is nation of Israel starting with Yahweh Shai. The rest of the 144,000, the rest of the elect and the nation of Israel. Everybody else don't fall underneath that.
Even then, the whole nation of Israel might be able to go into this stuff.
But you understand that they want to be what we have, right? They aim to achieve godhood, but artificially, while we will achieve it naturally, right? So that's the height of the plan, and they want everybody to bow to this, right? They even want the elect to be marked, but how should I say?
If it were possible,
I think I get that. I wanted to go next slide.
It's not possible. I don't get one day for innovation.
Yeah, I think the one.
Yeah.
So, again, this and then you'll get looking for the one with
two actually innovation.
Yeah, Matthew 24. Right, for there shall arise false Mashiach and false prophets. So now we know this referring to men who are the word, right? But it also could refer to Esau Edom, right? And shall show great signs and wonders. The great signs and wonders are gonna achieve, right? Certain things like you see that.
Finally cure diseases like AIDS and cancer.
Yeah, things that they thought never before possible, they're gonna make it possible through the technocracy. Right? You would have seen this. I try to remember the account with Elon Musk, the fucker who put the Neuralink in his head.
Right.
And he couldn't walk, he couldn't do much of anything. But then he put the Neuralink in his head and like he become God. So what they wanna do is that's the miracles are coming with the lying wonders, right? They wanna bring that to you and pull on your heartstrings in order to convince you to take it. So,
literally.
Yeah, literally, figuratively and literally, because they want to appeal to the disabled demographic, to the how you say, the sickly.
Like men
so
broken
bone people like that, they want to appeal to try and convince the masses here what's going on. This is the way.
Walkie in it.
Yeah, this is that literally what you want to say. The MOTB is the way, walkie in it. Continuing here, and it says it shall show great signs and wonders, in so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. But we know it's not impossible to deceive the elect, because the elect get salvation, Revelation, the 7th chapter. But they want to.
Because the book of Romans and all say the Lord reserve unto him, quoting from the prophet.
Romans 11 and 4.
The Lord reserve unto him what?
7,000 men
who shall not bow the knee to Baal.
Right, so they're not.
What will happen when men bow the knee to Baal? The Revelation 20 and 4. I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of power.
Revelation
20 and 4.
20 and 4.
And which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years.
Right, they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. So we know it had men that didn't get deceived because they didn't get the mark. Right. So when I go to Job 20.
I want to
Right.
It's Revelation 12 and verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accuse them before our power day and night.
So more proof. Men didn't get, for one, the kingdom had to come. So that's proof. Your bounds you can't pass, because your bounds is to rule forever, but it's our kingdom that actually going to rule forever, going to be established in you.
Daniel 2:44.
Daniel 2:44, Daniel 7 and 18. The saints shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever. Right, go ahead.
Verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb Yahweh Shai, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives until death. And our next thing too, like Esau don't realize this, but our men legit just not afraid to die.
Even if you're a part of the elect now and you're afraid to die, the Lord gonna put the spirit on you and you're not afraid to die, like Stephen. And Stephen was being stoned, he didn't care, he was glorifying the Most High.
Like Apostle Paul, he said, you only come back because you had more work to do. If not that, he come back here.
The Apostle Paul didn't care to that. The men of the Lord, if it's guillotine, stoned to death, hanged, whatever you have, once we put in that position, Lord will be a part of the Lord elect, we're not going to bow.
God, I think that the spirit, the Lord had died David. David watched Goliath. And he said, but I mean, care about you. And the Lord back in me.
He said,
who the fuck is
come
you?
with shield and spear, but I come to you in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right.
Verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, Salakia, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
So you see, that is what's taking place. They know they have a short time. That's why they move it. If you ask me, they move in hasty, which we glad. The faster you move, the faster we could get up and get the fuck out of here.
Scripture say it is in the day. And you don't like it when a man move in haste, because when a man move in haste, he always do one thing, and it's fuck up.
They Job 20, reading 22 to 23, and we close with this. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straight. So when you find, because your plan will be achieved, but to some extent. In the fullness of it, you're going to be ended up in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Verse 23, when he's about to fill his belly, when you plan your grandeur, your delusion of grandeur has reached its height, right? Power shall cast the fury of his wrath, right? The nuclear missiles upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he's eating. So when he sit down uncomfortably, he say, yeah, well, we finally got him, boys. Finally got him. So long, so hard, we work for this, we finally achieve it. Then the missiles going to rain upon him.
Verse 24. I read verse 24.
Verse 24, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Right? So, you know, Lord will, this video was edifying. Lord will, this video was edifying, and that you were edified. In closing, I say, Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Racha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great Minnesota. As always, I say, Shalom unto the elect.
Shalom to the elect.
These are two of your brothers,
Hananiah
and Isaiah saying,
Shalom.
Shalom.